So, have you got any other questions you'd like to ask me? No holds
Um,
barred. No holds barred.
how how do you get involved in so many of those other platforms? Um, how do you keep that straight? I see a lot of Medium people are going to this Mastodon or whatever,
I
and
joined that
these,
tonight, actually.
yeah,
I joined that
I'm
tonight. Yeah.
I'm such a dinosaur. I'm a Mastodon. Um, to
Yes. I thought a
to
mastodon was like an elephant with the tusks. Isn't
yeah,
that like a
yeah,
dinosaur? Yeah.
something
That's right.
extinct.
Yeah.
And uh, I haven't tried that yet either. I haven't done
I
anything like that.
yeah. So that's my 11th platform, Mastodon.
Wow.
So I joined it tonight. I saw an article. I thought, why haven't I joined this? So I
Mhm.
clicked on it, set up a profile, just put a very basic message out. Um, and I've got 2 followers in about
Oh,
2 hours. But yeah, I've not really posted much on it. I don't know. Same with Substack as well. What I've done with that is I've kind of written articles on Medium, particularly about my earnings because they get so much traction. I
mm,
didn't want to do it this year because it gets so much traction. Me writing about my earnings, I feel as though I've got to make up that money. So I do a basic version on Medium, and then I do some insights on Substack of the reasons why I think particular stories have done well and really delve into it a little bit. I'm not too sure the sort of content that's on Mastodon either, so
mhm,
really new to it. But a lot of my stuff, like the stuff I put on YouTube, I just basically put clips and put it onto things like Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. It's just a copy. So when I say I'm on 11 platforms, some of it is copy and paste, or some of it's
mhm.
just slightly adjusted for the audience. So it probably sounds like I do a lot more work than I do. I do a lot of work, but it probably sounds if it's really unachievable, but clearly it isn't because I'm doing it. So yeah.
Are you able to read or publish articles on on these other sites that you also put on Medium? Like some make money, I think, by publishing on more than one site, and
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
there's 2 sites that I'm interested in that I haven't gone on, and I probably won't go on. One is Klara. Is it
Hmm.
Klara? Kora?
Quora,
Kora?
Quora, I've seen that.
Um,
Yeah.
so I've heard some good stuff about that, but I probably honestly can't dedicate my time to using that platform. And the other one that I'm very interested in, but I don't think it's going to suit me and my writing is Newsbreak.
Mm,
Um, it seems I did check it out last week, and it seems, and I may have got this wrong, that it's um, really you've got to be living in America and you've got to be writing about your state. It seems very
wow.
localized to America, and obviously living in the UK, I can't really talk about stuff that's going on in California because I'm not in California or whichever state you're in.
Mm.
At least that's my initial grasp of it. But from some of the things that I've read about, some of the videos I've watched, it seems to be a lot. It seems to pay a lot more than Medium, a
Hmm.
lot more, considerable amount more. But there's I can't do something and fake it. I can't. So I'm not going to pretend I'm living in this place, and I just won't do that. I've got better ethics than that. So um, you know, I really do this sort of thing for a hobby. I'm not reliant on the income at all. So you know, I'm not going to fake it and just pretend that I'm in a place that I'm not. But if I was living in America, Newsbreak, I think I'd definitely check out.
Hmm. See, I read about it today. One of my, an author that I read a lot. She's moving over to Newsbreak, but
Mhm.
none of the kind of articles I write are popular on, or even probably even acceptable on there. What I don't write about news,
Mm.
you know, new things happening and what's going on. I don't even. I'm not even sure I can name the governor. of Ohio. I can name the president of the United States, but so that wouldn't be for me. But I'm glad she wrote that, because I was questioning, well, should I, should I try that out? And now I know, no, don't do it. So
Yeah, I think for the right type of person, I think it sounds amazing, but it's just not for me. It's just not for me. Have you thought about actually writing on other platforms yourself?
I haven't, because of what I write, that I
Yeah,
don't
okay.
want to have anybody. I would have to go delete a lot and start writing something totally different. And because I like what I write about, and subjects I touch on, and because I'm honest, um, I probably won't. And
I mean, yeah, that's interesting because you may or may not have seen some of the conversations that I've had. But Sierra Lane, who's another good writer, he's actually got two profiles. He writes under a pen name.
mhm,
And I was thinking at one stage, I don't know whether I'll ever end up doing it, but I was thinking of possibly creating a pen name myself, to write a little bit about the industry I've worked in previously. I don't think that my current audience would probably appreciate that type of content. So I probably
I
wouldn't write
would.
about it. What's that? Sorry?
I said I would.
You would, yeah.
I
Uh,
read what you were in the adult industry or whatever. But
yeah.
then, you're right. It just depends. But that's
I've
I think, an excellent idea
yeah.
to do the two.
I did start to write a little bit last year. And my best performing article was, I used to work in the adult industry, 10 facts you don't know about me. And
Mhm.
it was literally, it was a brainstorming session. And I thought, this is a brainstorming session, but I could probably publish that. I hit publish. I wasn't expecting it to go the way it went. It was
Mhm.
literally a brainstorming session. That's all it was. And then I wrote two follow-up stories, and I got to the point where I'm just about to start my first day, which is a really juicy story. And I've just never gone
Mhm.
ahead and written that yet, but
Mhm.
I might do. And I was gobsmacked as well. I wrote about it maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I didn't realize that Zuni Rain doesn't exist.
I saw that title, but I did not read that.
Yeah. So
So,
effectively, I started Medium because of two people I watched on YouTube, Selby Church and Zuni Rain.
mhm.
Um, and she's actually come out and said that Zuni name isn't her real name. That's a pen
Yeah.
name,
Mhm.
which I find very fascinating, for many different reasons. And it's made me curious. Well, Zuli, what's your name? And I'll probably never find out, but it makes you curious. So yeah, pen names are a topic that I've spoken about and to previous people. And I did a YouTube video probably about 6 months ago saying, I don't understand why people would do this. It's crazy. What are they trying to hide? And then a couple of months later thinking, actually, perhaps I could write under a pen name and come in full circle, and perhaps having a better understanding of why people do it. So yeah, I was gobsmacked. But even her website, zulurain.com, and she gets a lot of business writing under the Zulu
Yeah.
name. So, but I did wonder, because very often, if you look at her pictures, her partner's his face always dubbed out.
Mhm.
And I wondered why, because I didn't know you might do that with a child, but perhaps not your partner, unless you're very, very private. So maybe it's because they would recognize him and find out her name, which she clearly doesn't want people to know, and I respect that. But
Mhm.
yeah, pen names is definitely an interesting topic, And
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, I was gonna say, I had an article to publish about when I met my husband, and so I was going to put our wedding picture on there. So
mm,
I and I'm not really good at that stuff, but I did find a way to get on there and just erase his face,
yeah.
and I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I thought, I cannot put that, and so I didn't finish that article either.
It's amazing.
No, it just seems so sad to, delete it out. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I've got a coffee page, and I I always dubbed it as the person behind the writer. And I do put a lot of personal stuff on my coffee page. So yeah, it's because I like to be personable. I think it's very interesting. I do like to read articles, but one of the reasons I started these conversations is to meet people like yourself in person, if you can call this in person.
Mhm.
It's because I'm very fascinated by psychology,
Mhm.
and everyone's got a story to tell. My son once told me that you're the main character in your own story, and that's always
Mm.
stuck with me. And I just find it interesting to talk to people. I could literally just sit in a pub and just talk to people just about their lives. I think people are so interesting.
I noticed that quite a few writers have books. I've read some of their books, and
Yeah, Medium have just I think it's not a blue badge, like a blue symbol, isn't it? If you're an author, you get recognized on Medium. Did you read about that?
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wrote an article probably about 2 weeks ago where Medium are now recognizing book authors. So if you've written a book, um,
Uh,
and you've got a I can't remember the name of it. It was like a PIN number to prove that you've written a book. You
oh,
fill out the Medium application
ISBN
form.
or something.
Yeah, it might be. And then Medium will basically put a symbol next to your name to say that you're an authorized author of
Oh.
writing books. They
Mhm.
launched it about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe. So that's
I'll
something
have
they
to check.
produced. Yeah, which I thought
I have
was
like
really nice.
10,000 emails in my box that I feel bad. I don't get, of course, get to read everybody's everything, but I try to read some of everybody's that, you know, at least one or two. Some write every single day.
They're all AI writing. They're all AI writing.
I
Yeah, no.
don't
I mean, some
know.
people can do that. Don't know where they get the inspiration from, the energy either, but yeah, some people do that. They just churn out content left, right, and center. It's amazing, and some of it's really good quality as well, because you would
Yeah.
think the quality would be really substandard, but I'm thinking of one or two writers now that churn out constantly. But to be
Mhm.
fair, the content's pretty good. I just don't have that ability, you know.
And then there's some that just kind of, they're not that interesting and they're short and they're a little silly. And I always clap. I always make a comment, but I think, you know, come on.
Or
We might have to
sometimes
cut this.
sometimes I've noticed they churn the same content, just kind of reword it. It's the same
Yeah,
story hashed like 10 times. So
maybe it is
I'm
AI.
sure I've read that before. But
Uh, yeah, yeah. Have you ever written though, and maybe a few days later, you see an article that has very similar title, and someone else is writing about a similar thing that happened to them? That's happened to me several times, and I thought, and these are people I like,
okay.
writers I read. I, can, I she took my title and just moved it around and put it worded differently, and but it was actually something that happened in her life too, and maybe that generated an idea for her, but sometimes that bothers me a little bit.
I mean, that's interesting. I remember writing to Sinem, which is the lady that I took a course with, and somebody took her article, copied and pasted it, and copied and pasted the title. Didn't change a single word that she wrote. Simply copied and pasted it. So I told her, and obviously she reported them to Medium. The person got kicked off Medium.
Uh-huh.
But
I
in
do
terms
recall
of
that.
that, yeah. I mean, but in terms of what you're saying, there's been times when I've read somebody's article and thought, that's really good. I'm going to follow that up. And I've tagged them
Hmm.
as kind of a follow on to their story. I'm not aware that anyone's copied something similar to mine. They might have. But
Yeah.
I think that would annoy me a little bit, if I'm honest.
No, it does,
Yeah,
because you
it
think,
annoy me.
and
Yeah.
if we're they one of them was an author that I like a lot, and I read a lot of her stuff, and I thought, well, I just wrote that story, and so the same thing happened in her life. Oh well. But other times, I think, how that sounds just like my title, only a few little words changed around.
Yeah.
So it could be just coincidence
No,
that
I'm
I'm
sure.
not tagged. I'm not tagged in those articles. So if I tag somebody, I make sure, it's not the same article or the same, oh, well, so and so wrote about this, but this happened to me too. And who would want to read that? See, I don't know. I don't know. My age sort of shows after a while, like I might be a little snarky about certain things just because I don't know. Life.
I think as I've got older, I've got more cynical.
Mm, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that about me. Yeah. Any other questions you'd like to ask me?
Oh, I'll probably think of a million tonight at 4 a.m., but not right now. Not right now. I don't think so.
Okay, well, it just leaves me to say then, Klara, thank you very much for coming online. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's so nice to meet you in person.
Yeah.
I know we've talked offline once or twice as well. And I really appreciate the friendship that I have with you. And I hope it long continues. And I mentioned offline as well that I might be starting something new, possibly towards the end of 2023. And if you wanted to be involved in that, I would love it if you wanted to get involved in that little project of mine as well. Thank you for coming on today. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. It's definitely very much appreciated. And from a very dark Wales in the United Kingdom, I'm going to wish you a very good night. And I
And
shall speak to you very
thank you
soon.
so much. I feel very honored. I really do. And I could talk to you every day like this probably. So thanks a lot, and thanks for
I'm
staying up so late. And I
I'm
just missed an Al-Anon meeting tonight, so that wasn't really too bad. I'll go
well,
online.
I can promise you this won't be the last time we'll speak on camera. So I look forward to our next meeting. And
Okay.
thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you.